Yeah, so we're back again there. This time I'm in the main server, so all the honeypots report back to this one. I just wanted to run just this here. You can see there that all the services are running there, no problems at all. So from there, I'll show you my Splunk dashboard. Yeah, so this obviously takes a couple of seconds to just kind of load in all the data. Just refresh that there. But yeah, it seems to be working fine anyway. You can see up here on the top it tells us all the kind of brief synopsis of some of the information it's gathered. We can see here on the map that all the countries in the world that attacks have come from, and then it's broken down again into some more sub categories: top countries, cities, all that kind of thing, kind of geographical location, top operating systems, top attack IPs, that kind of thing. So it's a nice way to view any data that has come in. I don't know why, but once this loads up fully, it'll just say the number 1, which threw me off for a while, but it is what it is. While that's loading, I'll show you the modern honey network here. So this is their own. Oh shit! Oh, sorry. This is their own interface. It's good. Like mine never showed up any geographical attacks on here. I don't know why. I couldn't find anything different on mine to others, but some people have. There's like in the Splunk one here, where it shows the different countries and cities and things. Mine never showed that for whatever reason. Obviously, when I was deploying the honeypots on the servers that I set up, I went to the deploy section, and it's going to take ages to load up because I want to do a video. Also, both of these systems are running on, there we go, on the same server, the main server we seen there a minute ago. Here's where you choose your honeypot. So just for example, I don't know, what one did I choose? Snort. Create. I don't know why it's taking, you want to make a video and it takes ages. Anyway, it would come up with the code here, the script here. You would copy the code, bring it to the server, and run the code there. Restart the server, and then all going well, you're kind of up and running with your honeypot. I don't know why it's not loading up properly there. You can see this is still taking ages to load up too. Whatever reason that is. Here's the attacks that came in. Hopefully they load. There we go. They loaded up really fast for whatever reason. So obviously this is a record, kind of like a receipt, I suppose, of the attacks that came in. You can see that there's hundreds of thousands of pages here. It's just kind of like a record that the attack happened. You can filter by the kind of servers. Obviously, you can see through this assignment, I've had quite a few servers trying to get everything up and running properly, but eventually I got there. And you can filter them by honeypot, I suppose, categories, whatever, of the attacks that came in on your stuff. Then you can this work, please. This will just show us the sensors, which sensors honeypots. So show us the honeypots on their kind of names on the network thingy. And that doesn't load up either. There we go. It's like it's a double click time kind of job. You can see like on each honeypot here we have the New York sensor. Each one of these is its own honeypot. So we have the POF, the Gionia, Snort. Each honeypot has a unique ID here, and then it tells you what server it's on there as well. It also kind of gives you a total number of attacks that occurred on that honeypot there as well, which is quite nice. So that's pretty cool if you want to log it just to see how well your honeypots are doing. That's pretty cool. Um, I didn't really use anything else here, to be honest. Didn't really touch this at all. It just kind of good for keeping records of things. I use Splunk mostly, and for whatever reason it's not loading properly. Let's see, back up here now. Yeah, hopefully it won't take a couple of seconds to come through. Obviously, sometimes you have to keep an eye on the honeypots too. They do go down time to time. I was quite lucky. I think mine only went down once or twice. So in that regard, I was happy with that. It's simple enough anyway to bring them back up. Just a restart. For me, I only had to restart the servers, and they came back on. So that was good for me. It is important though to keep an eye on those honeypots. If not twice a day, then every other day, for sure. Because it's the one time you don't look and they're gone. Now I just feel the view down. So this is kind of the breakdown basis for one day. Yeah, that's only one day. Here we go. Here we are. So we can see here that in November 13th, 14th, 15th, there was a very high number of attacks here. And then I had terrible problems with connections and things here. You know yourself. You try to do something and everything goes disappearing. So same like now, videos won't work properly. But anyway, that's just life. Anyway, the when they came back up online, though, interestingly, not the same amount of attacks came in. You can see here like a peak, 17,000, whereas when these are up earlier in the year, earlier in the month, 127,000 in one day. No idea why that happened, but it did. And then the good thing about Splunk is that this is why it's better than just using the modern honey network or just relying on that kind of trying to manually read logs or whatever. It kind of breaks these things down based on identifiers that have been picked out, and it can categorize and funnel down the data for you, so it's much easier to view and ultimately make decisions from, because I suppose that's the whole point in this. So like if you're a network engineer or you know the IT guy, head of IT, you want to know what threats that may be vulnerable to your organization, and you want to know that you can mitigate against them. You want to know that this attack seems to be quite a common one or quite a prominent one, and maybe you're not defending against that quite as well as you could be. So in that regard, having something like this, a honeypot in your network or whatever, to collect data like this is it's invaluable. Like, what the hell? It's invaluable because that information ultimately could decide your budget for next year. You see these attacks coming in, and you need to know